When I built this ITX PC a few weeks back, I was definitely disappointed when it came to the temperatures. My RTX 3080 Ti was getting into the mid 70s and my 12600K started to throttle once it hit 100 degrees C. And that's definitely nothing special when it comes to temperatures, and therefore performance was a bit lacking. The first thing I tried to do was upgrade my CPU cooler. Originally, I had gone with this low profile 92mm cooler from Noctua. And obviously it just wasn't doing the job for the 12600K. If I'd gone with a more compact ITX case and not the NR200 from Cooler Master, I may have been stuck going with that 92mm cooler. But with the NR200, there's just a lot more possibilities when it comes to CPU coolers. So I went ahead and I picked up this Scythe Mugen cooler, which I got installed immediately and started testing. And the cooler performs way better than the previous Noctua, just based purely on mass and the amount of airflow the 120mm fan can push compared to the 92mm. And the upgrade helped reduce CPU temps from the mid to high 90s all the way down to the mid 80s, peaking at 86 degrees Celsius during a 10-minute stress test. And overall, this made a huge difference in overall CPU performance, as the 12600K was able to boost higher and for more extended periods of time. But I think there's even more headroom in this CPU. Plus, we haven't really done anything to address the elephant in the case in terms of that 3080 Ti. So now comes the hard part, trying to get more fans into this case. And that definitely sounds easier than it actually is when it comes to the NR200 layout. And although your typical fans might not work, there are definitely some slim options out there. And that's where these Scythe Case Flex 2 fans come in. They're a slim 120mm fan, which reduces the fan height from 25mm to just 15mm, reducing the overall thickness by a full centimeter. That reduction allows me to get 4 case fans installed into this PC with ease. And the slim nature of these fans aren't their only selling point. These fans come packed with a high precision fluid dynamic bearing with a 120,000 hour mean time to failure. There's also 3 different variants of this fan, ranging from 0.06 to 0.18 amps, which also ranges the RPMs from 1200 to 800 and the airflow from 32 CFM to 48. So overall, you have your silent version and your high performance. And they pretty much all sit at right around $16.95. And if we compare that to a similarly spec'd Noctua fan, you're looking at almost $21.95 or a $5 difference. So if you outfitted an entire case with 4 of these fans, you're looking at almost $20 in savings. And as you can see, they're very similarly spec'd, around 1800 RPM, very similar airflow, and very similar noise levels. So overall, in order to get these fans installed, we're going to have to take our NR200 apart. And first things first is taking off the top of the case and pulling out our 2 120mm fans, at least the existing 120mm that are that 25mm thickness. And the reason we're doing this is to give a little bit more clearance at the top of our case for any future upgrades we might want to make. And as you can see, we can actually install the slim fans underneath our GPU, just the way the case is designed, without first removing our GPU and then reinstalling it. So we get our 2 bottom case fans installed, and then we get our GPU back in there. And as you can see, a couple millimeters of clearance between the GPU and those fans, plenty fine. At least we're getting more airflow fed into that GPU. And then in terms of the top of our case, we're going to use the included rubber grommets. That way we don't have to use any screws or anything like that, and it should be a little bit more noise isolated when it comes to these top fans. And as you can see now, when we put the top of the case back on, there's just way more clearance between the top of the CPU cooler as well as the power supply and the bottom of our fans. We are going to have to use a fan splitter in order to power all 5 of our case fans now, but that is a very cheap addition in order to get our fans and our setup looking like this. And although this video only focused on upgrading the cooling setup within our ITX build, I will be doing a much bigger upgrade in an upcoming video, so definitely get subscribed and stay tuned for that. But overall, now that we have all 4 slim fans installed in our case, it's of course time to stress test it again and see if we have made any improvements to our temperatures. So what I'm hoping to see is with those 2 bottom fans installed that we definitely get some reduction on our GPU temperatures. Hopefully we stay under that 70 degrees Celsius mark. And when it comes to swapping out the two full-size 120mm fans to the slim K's Flex 2 fans, hopefully we just don't see any reduction in the temperature performance of our CPU. I really wanted to go to those two slim fans at the top to ensure that there's just a little bit more clearance throughout the PC. That way, if I need to reach any cables or pull any cables out or add anything in the future, it just makes it a little bit easier. So now that everything, of course, is installed, let's put it to the test. So with all of our fans inside of this case, we're now looking at 67 to 68 on the GPU and right around 85 still on the CPU. And with our updated case fan configuration, we're now looking at a peak temp on our GPU of just 68 degrees Celsius and pretty much the same temperature on our CPU at right around that 85 degrees C mark. So overall, a 2 to 3 degree reduction in temperatures when it came to our GPU and exactly the same on our CPU, even swapping out to those slim fans. Pretty much what we wanted to see, just slightly lower temperatures on our GPU, but we're also reducing the stress on our GPU fans. The two slim fans definitely helped reduce the RPMs on our GPU fans. Hopefully that just allows the GPU to last a little bit longer, but also those smaller fans on the GPU are a lot noisier than the Scythe K's Flex 2 fans. So overall, it's just a lower noise floor with this PC now. If there's anything I've learned during the build process of this ITX PC, it's definitely not easy jamming as much performance as I tried to inside of this case, while also keeping temperatures down. But as you can see, the addition of some slim fans into your case can definitely help reduce temperatures, hopefully allowing your components to last a little bit longer, and overall just make your system a little bit quieter. So if you have any questions or comments about the process of upgrading your system, definitely leave those down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, get subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.